Ogre 2 shaved his head and came out of retirement, and it's almost time for Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Ooh.
So let's talk some Halo. Welcome to HCS Now. I am your host, Computer. As always, I'm joined with my co-host,
Mummy.
And default.
and this is our Vegas preview show, and we are super excited. But first, we got to get some of the news of the EU scene in. We're going to talk to our man Onset to fill us in with all the happenings in the EU side because they just had a last chance qualifier. So let's bring him in with his nice little logo that I made for him one day.
45 to 45. It's going to be 46 all tied up. 10 seconds left.
I said logo, but you made the logo.
You made the
video. I
trailer,
made
the video.
Yeah. What's up, Onset?
How you doing, gentlemen? How are you all? You all
Straight
good?
from you live somewhere in the UK, I know, but straight from the UK. Surprised it's actually a pretty clear picture from all the way over there, all internet and stuff.
It's the
I
internet.
tried my best. After last week on my iPhone, I thought I'd make the effort this week and get my PC set up, and
Nice.
yeah, well, we should be a bit better this week.
Yeah.
So, last chance qualifier.
Yeah.
Just happened. So tell us how that all went down and what your thoughts are about the team that won, and what do you expect in the future from these EU squads?
So the first thing to say is obviously going into the last chance qualifier, the team that I think everyone expected to go through was Team Infused. They were one game away from qualifying for Worlds at the live event in London. They got knocked out in the losers bracket final to Best Routers EU. I mean, it says it all. I mean, it was a crazy series. It was Batchford's new team that he put together at the last minute. And that they ended up in the final against London Conspiracy, who beat Infused in the winners bracket final. So it was all kind of pretty crazy. Like after they lost the winners bracket final, you saw a few of the Infused team on Twitter saying, I'm terrible, and this is awful, and this is the worst, and that's what happens. You go into a final with that mentality, you're going to struggle. And London Conspiracy, they were the best team in the tournament by miles, and they really performed. And interestingly, going into the tournament, Team Infused picked up Snipe Drone and dropped Cristola.
Okay.
And Cristola, basically what happened is one of the teams that Snipe Drone was on at the time was scrimming. And about 10 minutes before the roster lock, he said he lagged out of a game, and from that joined Infused. And obviously Cristola then went the other way to London Conspiracy, and Cristola was an absolute monster in this tournament. It was unreal. He put 22 and 9 up on a Rig Slayer, and he was just doing so much work for his squad. And he's one of those players that kind of like has come through the scene this year, and him going to Worlds is crazy. And I think one story we touched on last time was we talked about Mose and Respectful and how they didn't get there last year, and they've obviously got there on Fabi. But Septic was another member of that team, and he's now made it this year. So it's awesome to see Rob going to Worlds, and it's where he belongs. It really is.
Yeah. Now, London Conspiracy, I don't think you predicted them to win last time we talked. What did you say?
Nope.
Infused was going to win? I think.
Infused should have won. The weird thing was, Infused were miles ahead of everyone else if they wouldn't have made that team change at the last minute.
Yeah.
As I say, at the live event, they were one game away from, going to Worlds. And they decided to make this last-minute change, which really backfired against them because it kind of lit this fire under Cristola. And
that is a wild story that I have not even heard, and I pay close attention to the scene. The backstories of the teams in the EU scene get overlooked so much. You don't see them talked about very often, and that's like a crazy story that should be, put to light, especially when during Worlds. I feel like that should be something that the casters talk about. I always get so angry when backstories between players aren't brought to light, the rivalries and the things that could happen behind the scenes. I think
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
what draws people to you know, they like this player or they hate this player. You know, that's what draws people to like certain teams and stuff. And it always bugs me when things like that aren't brought to light on mainstreams.
It's kind of our job as casters to, you know, bring these storylines to light.
Yeah.
You know, you want to give backstory to every game. Every game has to mean something, and it's
Exactly.
kind of our job to develop that. And all the way through the last chance qualifier, it was like, well, okay, Batchford left London Conspiracy to make a new team. Then Batchford's team were in the final against London Conspiracy, and then the team that beat that London Conspiracy beat had a shady team change. It's like shady Halo kids are worldwide. Like it's not just an NA thing. They're everywhere in the world. And yeah, I mean London Conspiracy. You look at that team, and you've got Ramirez who went to Worlds last year. You've got Lunny who went to Worlds last year. You've got obviously Septic who's now going. You've got this new young gun Christola who's going. You know, they're a solid squad. And going into the live event the weekend before, Too Foxy, Fabi's captain, said they're going to be our best competition at the tournament. And
Really?
They didn't have a great tournament, but for him to speak in such high regard of them, I think it shows how strong they are as a team. And they just only seem to have got stronger with the addition of Christola. So I think we've sent 3 really good teams over. I think Infused will ruin that team change because that really should have been one of their spots. But, you know, you live and learn.
Right.
Now that you've kind of said you're sending 3 of your best teams over here, tell me what you think. Tell me how you think these teams will stack against each other, and how you think these teams are going to stack against NA teams, and which NA teams do you think they have a chance of realistically, you know, taking down?
Tough one. It's a tough one.
It's
It's
a
a
tough one.
three-part question.
I want to see an EU team do.
Yeah, so
to
would I. I would like
perform
that.
because it's so unexpected. You know, everyone expects them to come here, and they might outplace Mexican team or the Australian team, but you know, and maybe in a few NA teams. But I want to see one actually just take it to them.
Yeah.
I think a lot depends on the format of the competition.
It really
We don't know.
that's true.
We don't know if it's going to be pools play like it was last year. We don't know if it's going to be just seeded and then double elimination bracket. We don't know. If we go on the same format as last year, which I'm going to presume that we are, you know, we've got 3 days of Halo. We're going to probably have to have some pool play in there.
Yeah.
Then Fabi at the moment in Europe are miles ahead of everyone. You know, they're the top dogs.
Right.
They are the best. They are a top 8 team worldwide, I believe, personally. They're going to want to beat what Epsilon did last year, which was top 8. I think 6 to 8 they ended up, but top 8. Be realistic about it. As much as I'd love to give them top 6. But I think Fabi are looking for top 6. I think if they play as well as they can get it. I really, really do. I think there's a few teams hovering about in NA at the moment that are really up and down, and I think it's just if they catch it, if they need to play their best, and B, they need to catch one of these teams not playing their best, I think.
Yeah.
But over 3 days of tournament play, you know, it's more than likely that sort of thing can happen. So that's what I think for those teams. I think for London Conspiracy and Supremacy, I think if they got out of groups, they would be really, really happy with that performance because, you know, Supremacy haven't been over to North America. They haven't competed against these North American teams, and it's a totally different ball game. You know, Fabi have had the experience. You know, some of the players on that team have been out here 3 or 4 times now. Too Foxy especially. Jimbo's been out a few times, and they perform really well against these NA teams. Yeah. So it's kind of the other teams. It's going to be more of a challenge for sure. I don't think any of the NA teams would be particularly worried against playing them, if I'm honest, if they matched up against them. Yeah. But at the same time, there's no reason why they couldn't upset someone, you know, especially that Supremacy lineup. You look at them, day one, they lost to the Pacemaking Pandas at the event, and then they just won 7 straight. Yeah. So they got hot, and they were unstoppable.
Yeah.
So if they get to the event and they're hot and they play well in that first match they have, then there's such a momentum team that Supremacy, they're a real dark horse in that tournament. They're one of those teams that I don't think anyone will really want to match up against because, you know, if SLG starts off hot and he's hitting the world with that snipe, then who would want to play against the hot SLG? You know?
Yeah. Septic's had a lot of experience in the NA too.
Yeah.
So I mean that he might bring something to the table as well. And you mentioned something really important about we don't know the format, and as we all seen last year, Allegiance got second place at Worlds because they got an easy bracket.
Yeah.
They got when they got to Optic, obviously they were destroyed.
Yeah.
But it's just like a lot of times it just comes down to how the bracket falls into your lap. And we saw that last year with Allegiance, and then when finals came around, it was a one-sided show because I'm not going to say they didn't deserve to be in that final spot, but there were other teams that would have put up more of a fight with Optic than they would have.
CLG.
Yeah, I mean, every team has a hard tournament bracket and an easy tournament bracket. It's kind of how it works out sometimes. Last year, the problem with it was once the teams got out of pools, then the bracket was randomized.
Yeah.
So we saw Optic going against EG, who we thought were going to be the two best teams in that first knockout match.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, that's just unfortunate. Like, we were sitting there going, can we redraw this? Like, can we just kind of make it so that doesn't happen?
Let's make this
keep
show
them
fun
opposite
to
sides of the
watch.
bracket. Yeah. Yeah, it can happen, It's just the luck of the draw. I hope they look at the format for this year because I don't think it was as good as it could have been.
No, not
and you always want to get, we had the best team win, but we didn't have. Allegiance will say they deserve to be there, but we want to have the most competitive bracket we can.
Yeah.
Right.
You want the
Trying
most
to
competitive
exactly.
finals you can have.
Not just a
blowout.
It should be the best two teams at the event at the final.
Yeah,
is what I'm
it
trying
really
to say.
should. I mean, it didn't work out that way in Worlds, and it could happen again this year. And some teams will get an easier bracket, but we'll see. Like you were just saying earlier, it's all about how it falls. Let's move on to the NA side of things. We got Vegas coming up. I'm pretty excited. We all are because I think this could be one of the best tournaments we've ever seen, and it could be better than Worlds itself because this means so much to you got so much on the line here.
It's insane. I'm fearing for my sleep pattern. I think I've already resigned that that's just going to be an absolute mess by the time next week comes around. But this is going to be a crazy tournament. Like, normally you have money on the line and it's the prestige, but the fact that you've got those spots for Worlds on the line, like, there hasn't been more on the line, in my opinion, at a Halo tournament, a single Halo tournament, than this Vegas event coming up.
Especially
so
this year, since there's less spots.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think we have a Skype
Issue?
Yeah, but anyways, well, like I was saying, if you want to recall him, maybe, I don't know. But this year, we got less spots. So, we have the last chance qualifier after Worlds, or after Vegas, not after Worlds, but after Vegas we have the LCQ. So, it's not the end of the world if they don't qualify for the top 6 spots at Vegas, but I'm sure as hell would rather qualify there and then have to fight for the one spot left.
Yeah, you don't want to
Online.
fight. Yeah,
Online. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get on this. What's it saying?
Just
Oh, the internet connection. Okay, well, moving on.
Well,
I guess.
thanks for coming on set.
Yeah.
If you're watching,
We appreciate it. Let's see if we can move on to the next topic of the show, Halo Hot Topics. Shall we? Now, we said earlier, Ogre 2, he's back, right?
yes.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Great news.
Why you
Big
say it so like he's back?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm happy that he's back.
Yeah.
I love that he's back. I love watching Ogre 2. I love watching the old school guys come back and play. I just get tired of players saying they're retired, and then just say something else. It's like I'm not just gonna.
He wasn't planning on coming back.
Yeah, like Flamesword said he was retired. Now he's talking about coming back.
He's not coming back. He's just playing with the AM
Ogre
team.
was retired, and then I've something.
There's always a place for Ogre 2. He can retire and come back as much as he
just
wants.
Stop saying the word retired.
But
if you're gonna come back and play, just stop saying.
If
retired.
EG didn't come to him saying they needed him, he wouldn't came back. He even says in that post that this is not a sure long term thing. It's just for now. They came to him, they needed him, so he took the opportunity.
Well, I have noticed they have never said that he's a permanent player. So he's not permanent. I mean, they could, but the rosters have locked for Worlds. Yeah. So he is player for Worlds.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, not for next season though.
Yeah.
But unless they do good.
Unless they do good, and he feels like he competes at that level.
I got an interesting thing I want to talk about because the best thing I can compare EG to is they scrimmed Panda just before they dropped Predevinator. I'm losing my brain. And picked up Ogre 2. Okay, this is one of their this is the scrim that they recently did with Ogre 2, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was last night. These scores and stats are thanks to Halo Data Hive. Make sure you go check out that site. It's pretty awesome. If you're into the HCS, make sure you go check them out. So they had this scrim last night with Ogre 2, but just before they dropped Predevinator, picked up Ogre 2, they had a scrim, and they did much better against the same team. They did a scrim, and they were 3-10.
Yeah.
The games were 3. Panda had 3 wins, and EG had 10. Right. So that's what I can compare it to.
Yeah.
Is they did a little bit better with Predevinator.
Yeah.
Than they have now.
Yeah.
With Ogre 2. I mean, I'm sure they have not gotten used to playing with him just yet.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can compare it. That's what I can compare it to now. The one team that they scrimmed before, and the one team they scrimmed recently after, and they performed better with Predevinator. So I really do hope it works out for them because I would love to see Ogre 2 back in winning form. And I think it would be good for Halo, just because he's such a name.
Yeah, in the he's sport. A big name.
Even though he's not like, the biggest gaming person in the world now.
Yeah.
Because Halo's not as big. But he's still a huge name in esports. And just to see him back, like, let's say Worlds and he's in the finals, everybody's going to be freaking out for Ogre 2 wanting to win. I will be. I'll be rooting for him. So yeah. I think it would be cool to see. Next, Hoaxer is the new coach of ALG. Well, this came out of nowhere.
He was straight ripping.
Yeah, well, he was. Mm-hmm. And then we were all like, okay, that's weird. Well, who's going to coach straight ripping? Well, Coach Clutch is going to be straight ripping's new coach.
Yeah, good to see him back.
And he used to coach Optics, CLG. Yeah. Well, CLG. So the coaches are kind of moving around. I'm not sure why this took place. I don't know. But that's what it is. Hoaxer, new coach of ALG. He left straight ripping. Clutch is now the coach of straight ripping.
Yeah.
And like we were saying before, Flamesword, thinking about coming back with an AM team to play at Vegas. He's got the itch.
And I don't think he's like trying to make a team. I think he just
not make it. Yeah, he's trying to put together.
I mean, like he's not trying to compete like like forever. He's just doing it just to do it. I think.
Yeah.
He's got the itch.
Yeah.
He wants to compete. I mean, these players.
I would take him serious if he played Halo a lot. Like Ogre 2, he never stopped playing. When he retired, he streamed every single day.
We don't know how much he's been playing now, honestly.
I don't think he plays that much.
Honestly, Flamesword's he's pretty good at Halo 5.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. He's good, but
he's really good.
He just hasn't played.
It's straight amateur team though. Like I think all of the people he's teaming with is like it's their first event.
Yeah, he's got the itch to compete.
Yeah.
And that's well, I always try to say players, a lot of times, the money's great, but they just love competing. The competition, they can't stay away from it.
Besides Maniacs.
They want to be on that stage. They want to get the feeling of winning and beating the best and being the best. And I just like seeing that he still has the drive in him to compete. I like that.
Yeah. It's just, it would be crazy if he starts doing this and, like, he just does really well.
Like, what are you doing? You're like Hex, everyone.
Hex would be like, "What are you doing?" Like,
he's like, "I gotta go to New Org."
Yeah.
Shock the world.
They shocked the world.
Next
sure
did. Qualifier and tapping buttons was in everybody's mind watching that series and that event because he's just going off.
Yeah.
Another young gun coming up.
We've heard of tapping buttons before. this event. Where did I see this? I seen him play at another event. I can't remember. I swear.
Tapping buttons?
Yeah, was it
I've heard
a
of this guy
recent
before.
LAN not too long ago, right?
Yeah,
In the free for all.
I think so, because that name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I know of him. I don't know a lot about him. I know he's a great player, and I can't wait to see what this team can do at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a team from like Mexico or Australia, like show up and shock everybody, like their name, shock the world.
Shock the world.
Team Immunity from Australia won their qualifier. I keep hitting my mic.
Hmm?
Stop doing that.
Yeah, you said that. You know how many times you said that last episode?
You know, I got the hand movement going. I get into what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Team Immunity, yeah, they won the Australian, New Zealand World qualifier, and they are going to be at Worlds. So we have almost the entire stage set. We're just waiting on the American teams now. And
Oh, boy.
that's going to be a fun one.
That's going to be a good one.
Okay, when we talked about earlier, the LCQ and EU is won by London Conspiracy.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to talk about, this is a little bit older, but it hadn't happened since our last show aired. Last Thursday, a little interesting scrim went down. It was Optic versus Envy, and Envy took it 10-3.
That's just scrims.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says. That's just scrims.
Yeah. Well, Optic has not been looking super dominant. I mean, they did beat Straight pretty bad last night. And I've heard.
Wait, you
that
say
Lethal,
Envy beat Optic 10-3?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I heard Lethal was a little sick last week, so
Yeah.
we won't count that.
Well,
But no, yeah, it was. I watched it. It was pretty interesting. Optic was saying there was a lot of weird stuff happening during that scrim. Just so I don't know.
you know, I watched a lot of Optic videos, and it seems like everybody in that house is sick constantly.
Yeah. Well, it's what happens when you live in a
lot
house
of bodies
with
in
like
that
30
house. A lot of
dudes.
people
Like, Maniac is constantly sick, and it's like Frosty gets
Frosty
there,
was sick.
and he was sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't go to that house. You get infected.
No, it's you get some kind of weird stuff going around there. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting scrim because that's two of the top teams in the league, and I'd like to see him scrim again. I don't know if they.
Last time I watched Snipe Down stream, he was like, they are thinking about making it a every Thursday thing.
Okay. Well, I know they will be leaving soon, and scrims will be probably stopping any day. Like maybe tonight might be the last scrim, so we'll see. And other news, not completely related to HCS, 343 announced that Halo would bring split screen to all Halos moving forward.
Split
Oh,
screen.
man.
Something
Now-
people's been wanting.
Split screen is something I don't care about, but I do care about LAN. So if they would have said that, I would have been cheering you on. But split screen in 2017, come on, buy your own Xbox.
Well,
I'm
it's true. I get what you're saying, but
I mean, who uses it?
maybe that's the first sign of, going
It is a good sign. But
going in the right direction
Why
for
can't
the
they just come out and say LAN will be in all Halos from this point on? I mean, that
Because
would make us happy.
343
A lot of us
wants to slowly leak or slowly give you information. They think, well, don't excite them all at once.
They're saving that for E3.
Yeah, spread it out over time. Make them excited this month and then this month.
They're getting me excited. That's all I gotta say.
E3 LAN. Everybody's gonna be cheering
I'm
them.
Yeah.
excited. Also, last but not least, Twitch is doing something very nice for the Halo community. They
I
are
know, right?
featuring not all. They're featuring a lot of Halo streamers for the community spotlight.
Yeah.
And some of them I've never seen before, so they're actually introducing me to some streamers that I've never seen, and I think it's pretty cool. And it's just in time for the LAN that's coming up, so it's helping promote. I heard some of the players are going to get promoted and featured on the community spotlights very soon, all week. So this is going to help promote this Vegas LAN coming up. So we're going to be good to go on that side.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
I heard that news and I'm like, we're doing good.
Yeah.
And it brings people in the scene.
Big deal. I saw Vitoed. I was like, wow, Twitch just tweeted out Vitoed stream, and he had like almost 800 viewers or 900 viewers. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Loved it. Love you, Twitch. I think Golden Boy might have something to do with that.
No,
I
good
don't
job.
know.
He's trying to work his way in back into casting. See, guys, I can do a good job.
No, we like Golden Boy.
I love
He's
Golden
Twitch,
Boy.
He works at Twitch, so maybe he had something to do with that. Let's roll Player of the Week. So, Player of the Week.
Yeah, you guys
We
put
had
up.
a vote on Twitter.
You shouldn't even done the vote
Why?
because I already knew this guy was gonna win.
You
Yeah,
gotta
but-
let people decide. Just because you think they might be,
What do
don't
you-
mean
I
other
like-
people.
It's just
You don't want people voting? Are you dictators?
no. It's obvious the choices. I'm just sorry. It's
So,
over.
Player of the Week is no other but the Player of Forever,
Yeah.
the GOAT,
Until he retires again.
the greatest of all
Hey.
time, the most winningest Halo player of all time.
I know, man.
He kind of looks like a.
You
What?
don't say you look like a goat.
No.
Oh.
Player of the Week is Ogre 2.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Everybody. And now we also had you guys vote on the Slay of the Week. So let's see what you guys got for that.
Que empieza a rotar, uy, ahí casi se avienta un buen snipazo, mi queridísimo Bravo, pero se quedó bastante cerca.
Oh my gosh, fantastic no-scope from tapping buttons. Este partido es muy lento though, right? I mean, back and forth, but so far the teams are just really playing it slow. And for tapping buttons, like we said, and his entire team Shock the World, this is how they want to play. They want to control the pace of the game, and there's nothing that Synergy can do.
Exactly, and you can. Oh! Let's do it! Oh my God, that was. Oh my God! And he did it, man! He did it. Tapping buttons, he's on fire totally right now. He's putting on a show to us right.
That we saw him begin on the rig, and yeah, you can tell he's feeling it. He wants it to happen. He lands the one there. 1-2 kangaroo. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Goes for another. Why the hell not? It could be a double. No, too slow. Oh baby! No, he got that one.
Trying to push in for a contest. Doesn't know where the player is exactly. Plasma Pistol misses from Predevinator, but shots miss from Pistola. Mikwin answers, however, does pick up a double, maybe a triple kill here. We'll see who wins this battle. It's also going to be for control of Nest, and it's Mikwin that grabs the triple kill, and Ola pushes up, helping him out. They're going to have all three strongholds now.
Huge.
Who won?
Seduce. And
I figured that was gonna win.
Y'all-
Well, the other two they tied.
Yeah, I mean,
He
let's
won
be
by like
honest.
3%, like one vote. two
Good
votes.
plays don't win that kind of stuff. It's all
Seduce
about
wins player,
Yeah.
Slay, not player, Slay
it's all
of the
about
Week.
no scopes and
Fancy moves.
fancy
I'm glad
moves.
he won. He's not a very well-known player, but
Yeah,
No, it's great. I'm
that's
just
cool.
saying.
He got some recognition. So you guys seen all those fancy plays. So let's show you a little bit of bad plays in a segment called Pro Player L's.
One shot sniper. Dude, I'm calling it out. He's like, where? Where? One shot sniper.
Right, now we have our next segment, and it's called Community Spotlight. This is a segment where we want to bring somebody from the competitive Halo community, give them some recognition, and this week we have none other but Caster Butters.
Defending
on Skype
Nest,
call.
over jumping right there as he's going to get taken down. Mikwin, meanwhile, still has the camo, but there's 3 Optic members on top of him, and there's a hit marker, and Lethal does have the scatter shot to take him down, and that camo was absolutely for nothing as Zola is going to help Hook take over Nest. He's going to say, you know what, Hook, you're on your own. I can't help you. Hook said, it's all right. I'm used to your choking as I'm going to take it by myself, but that is going to be 3 members taking BR base by themselves.
All right, Caster Butters.
Hey, what's going on?
How you
How
doing?
you doing? We supposed
Doing
to,
awesome.
We were,
You guys hear me good?
Yeah.
we were going to
Awesome.
have you on last week for Community Spotlight. We got timing a little wrong. So I was determined to bring you on this week to get you on the show, to get your, get some love to you, your Twitch stream. So I want you to tell everybody what you do.
Okay, well,
I'm a community caster, obviously. I try to cast over a variety of games. For the last few casts that I've been doing, pretty much in favor of Optic, just because of the friendship that I've had. Usually I ask the coach or I'll ask a player, hey, is it cool if I could cast over your games tonight? If I can hop into scrims. I mean, obviously I could use the spectator point of view, but I really like using the observer mode with the overlays and everything else because I stream from the 360, Jesus Christ. I stream from the Xbox One, so you don't really have, a lot of overlays to work with, and, having my gamer tag in the lobby helps out quite a bit more often, but I think it's really cool that Optic, Allegiance, and I think even Booba just don't mind me in the lobby at all and Optic prefers me cast over the games because it's Optic. They like whenever I make their flashy plays even more flashy to the point where it's seizures happening. But I cast over games, and I'm trying to go a little bit further in, through this and try to get a top 10 series of my own going.
Nice.
I love your casting. I love your voice. You got the perfect voice for casting. You casted at UGC for a bit. Now, how was that? Was that like a dream come true?
That was definitely a dream come true. The planning for me to get there was absolutely hectic. I was given the green light that I can cast over there, right? But the planning on how I was getting there, didn't know until the last minute. And I actually got the flight booked a day before St. Louis actually happened. So I had to quick pack everything and bring whatever I possibly could to get there as well. And, whenever I got there, I was really surprised because I met Onset, Halo, I met Walshy, T-Squared, all these guys that I've looked up to, growing up playing Halo and stuff and, seeing them as a caster. And usually I've always seen them, like, they're up here and I'm down here. And now, like, almost at this point, but obviously they have a lot more experience than I do. But it was so good to shadow them and to finally meet them, if anything. They were super duper nice. Any of them were easily approachable. I know it seems like they possibly have their own lives, like, oh, I'm too good for you to talk to me. But all of them, you can talk to absolutely any of them, especially with their fan base. They always love bringing up the past, and it just really brings a smile to their face. So I don't know when that will happen with me or not, but I hope that I can get that sometime down the line as well.
Yeah.
But
it's easy to get starstruck by players. I did a lot when we first started events. I'd see Walshy and I'd be like, Walshy, man, freaking legend. I don't know if I can talk to that guy. What would I say? I don't want to sound stupid.
I can't say. That was a problem of mine. Actually, on St. Louis on Friday night, Mark, Onset Halo, I was getting nervous, right? I was getting really nervous. I was like, oh, man, I don't know about this. This is during practice. This is like 12 o'clock, and the stream was going to start at 2. So we started practicing, and so I sat in the DX Racer. He sat in the one next to me at the caster desk, and, they gave us the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and you're live. He opened us up. We're not live yet. It's just practice, and he goes, Caster Butters, how do you feel? I had no idea what to say. I got completely sidetracked that he was going to toss it to me so quick. And whenever that happened, I was like, oh, my God, I don't know if I could do this. I just messed up in the practice within 5 seconds. Like, what is this going to look like to the Twitch chat, soon, or anybody that's watching? It just doesn't look really professional at all. And it was just getting to me, but Walshy, T-Squared and all them, they're like, hey, man, this is what we do with practices. This is why we have them, to get all those jitters out before the show. And by the time it's live, it's pretty good to go.
Nice.
And on Friday, I did good. Saturday, I did better, but I definitely wasn't at my best. I don't know why. Again, this is my second Halo event at the same time, so I was just completely excited to be there, especially casting along Strong Side, man. I've wanted to do that for a while now.
Casting with your heroes, that's got to be like an awesome feeling. Now, you got pretty close with the players. I saw you at one point in the corner of the room on some Xboxes showing Ola and Snipe down some trick grenade throws and trick jumps, and they were pretty impressed. You're actually pretty good at Halo 5.
Thank you. Here's a key fact about Frosty. Off stream, he'll play for about an hour a day, practicing jumps, doing absolutely anything. I stopped by. This was back then whenever I started. I was like, ooh, I got to spectate, see what he's doing, and all he's doing is just running around the map. That's it. Nobody else is in the game. Sometimes Snakebite or another Optic member will be in the game, and they're just running around. That's it. They're just running around. and practicing new jumps. I was like, man, I want to do that. That's just awesome. So I started doing it myself. Definitely had the time for it. And but instead of doing jumps, I started learning combat evolved moments. A lot of players don't use this feature that was brought to Halo 5. Penguin abuses it absolutely on Coliseum with the rockets. He has that down to a T. And it gives Liquid the advantage knowing that combat evolved spot. And on the rig, I figured out a spot to nade the sniper from Nest to back carbine, and Snipe Down was all over that, especially because it was the sniper combat evolved. He was all over it.
Yeah,
so
you're right on. Players barely take advantage of that because I mean, you would have to practice it a lot to nail it, like especially in the heat of combat. But it is something that players very rarely take advantage of, and it could change the game. And
and the thing with Halo 5 is the blast radius from Halo 1. Oh man, the Halo 1 will launch it clear across the map, all the way across the nation, man. But this one, it can only go so far. So that's a reason why they don't really abuse it too much, because it can only go so far. But a combat evolve is a combat evolve. It's going to help you, secure that weapon. Even if you launch it to your side of the map, that's on your side of the map. It's already in your favor. And Snipe Down was talking to me. He was like, yeah, man, this really helps. Even though it's something small, it definitely helps us out. And ironically, he still doesn't use it. None of the players from NB uses it at all, no matter how long they were totally interested into it. They don't use it still.
To get them to the sniper. You've been casting online scrims. Are you going to continue to do that? Do you have a schedule? Do you want to shout out your Twitch stream channel?
My Twitch stream channel, it's going to be twitch.tv/caster_butters. As far as schedule goes, it's whenever I'm feeling hype. Whenever I'm absolutely like, man, you know what? I got too much energy. I'm not going to sleep at night unless I go all out on stream. So it's kind of random. Whenever I get a better setup with my computer, to do some overlays, and I have all these ideas, to do for a stream, I'll more likely have a schedule by then. But until then, all I do is I usually know when it's a good day, and I'll tweet in the middle of the day like, hey, who do you guys want to see me cast over tonight? And I'll do a poll on Twitter. People vote. And yeah, I just do it. Again, I do try to get in the lobby as well. Now, I don't try to annoy them, hey, can I hop in the lobby this time? It's like, dude, you just did it yesterday. I don't try to abuse it for that reason as well. So I like to keep it every 2 days or so.
Nice.
Yep.
So, top 6 for Vegas. I'm getting predictions.
Top 6 for Vegas. Well, obviously, you got to have Optic Gaming, Envy, and Liquid at the top, fighting for top 3. And actually, no, I can't even say top 3 anymore, because for the past few nights for scrims with Optic Gaming, they've been, loosened up a bit. You got to remember, Frosty did that 24-hour stream recently, and he did play Envy the night they lost 10-3 after he did that 24-hour stream, so he was definitely tired. Pretty sure he wasn't even all there for it.
Yeah.
Still, you take some of the side effects, with the sick house going on with Lethal. Whenever they played Allegiance, they also lost Allegiance, so that says a lot about Allegiance as well. But top 6, I definitely going to give it to Optic Gaming, Splice, Envy, Liquid. I'm going to pledge allegiance, man. Spartan's my friend. Got to pledge allegiance. And for the number 6 spot, I actually want to see an amateur team. I'd like to see Set to Destroy.
Oh, nice.
Go up there.
I like that.
But Straight Rippin' is good too.
I
Set to Destroy
like your style.
definitely shows you their skill.
I like your style. All right, Caster Butters. He also does really good player impressions too.
Oh yeah,
when you watch his stream.
Oh yeah, he does.
I was watching it.
You should, if you guys are
really
watching
funny.
scrims, look for Caster Butters to see if he's streaming. You will love it. It makes scrims that much more interesting to watch. Sometimes scrims can be fairly boring to watch, but you make it really funny, really exciting to watch. I think more people should watch you when scrims are going down. He does awesome player impressions. So check Caster Butters out. He's part of our community spotlight tonight. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful night. Have a good day tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, Caster Butters.
Caster Butters.
Remember that name. He's going places. That guy is one of the nicest guys, hypest guys. You can talk to him for hours, and he will just keep going.
He'll keep you entertained, sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, now it's getting towards the end of our show, so I guess we got to do predictions. Vegas predictions.
We doing top 6?
You can do top 6, top 3. You can do who's not going to qualify for Worlds.
Top 3, I think, is going to be Optic, Envy, and Liquid.
Going out on a limb there, aren't you?
I'll do top 3. Well, Liquid is really good. They're going. Splice. I want them to be top 3.
It won't happen.
I want them to, because they did really good. They're doing really good, and given their circumstances, how they had to fight to this point,
yeah,
I want them top 3.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you a team that you guys are leaving out. Panda. Okay, so I'm going Envy, Optic, Liquid, Panda, Splice. How many is that?
Wait. What was your top 3?
Envy, Optic, Liquid, Panda, Splice.
You say Envy's gonna win it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It'd be nice for them to win it again, but I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's mine. I could go Allegiance after that. I'm trying to think of.
I do agree with the Panda being 4th.
Yeah, I think Panda is underrated.
Yeah,
I really do. That leads us to our community question. I want to hear your guys' predictions for Vegas. And in order to let us know what your predictions are, you got to tweet at us at HCS_now and hashtag HCSN. So we can see you guys' predictions. We will retweet predictions that we agree with, and we will, if there's we will say bad things to people that we don't agree with.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to say anything bad. But that's a community question. Let's hear your Vegas predictions.
They're going to be hard. It's going to be a good, I think it's going to be a good show. These teams are all.
Boys.
You trying to say who's going to win it?
Win what?
Oh, you're talking about Vegas?
No, we already did our predictions.
Yeah, I'm just saying
okay. I thought you were trying to ask again.
It's going to be like a really good show. Like, these teams are.
There's 6 spots for Worlds, $1 million tournament, and if you don't get in, you got one more chance, and you really don't want to have to take that online qualifier.
These teams are going to be playing out of their mind.
Online sucks. You're going to be so many online variables. You got one spot to make it in. You want to get in at this event. This event means everything. This event's going to be big. And so you guys got to tune in next week for our show, because we're going to be all over it. We're going to be all over Vegas next week. Same time, same place, same channel, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/UGC. And follow us on Twitter, HCS_now. Tweet at us your top 6 predictions, hashtag HCSN. Follow UGC Events. Check them out and their online store. UGC Events has a huge Gears of War tournament coming up, $200,000 in Atlantic City. That's going to be awesome. If you guys are into that scene, you better check that out. And we will be here next week to talk all about Halo like we always do. Thanks for watching.